Hi and welcome to another KWM Tasting Note with me, Andrew. Today we're trying Bischofliche Weinguter Trier Dom Riesling Off Dry 2021 vintage. So bit of a mouthful, but it basically translates as Bischofliche is the bishop's vineyards or wine growers of Trier. It's based in the Mosel region here of sort of western Germany, just along the French border, which runs up alongside the Alsace region, sort of north of the Alsace region, really. So you've Pfalz over here, which comes straight up from Alsace. You've Baden off to the east of it, and then sort of further north is the Mosel into the German border. So it comes from a collection of vineyards in around the Mosel Saar Ruhr. So Mosel is the main river within that sort of valley system, and then the Saar and the Ruhr are two other smaller tributary rivers in there as well. So characterized by really steep slopes, very difficult to work, very slaty soils typically, and that lends a lot of vineyard characteristics and sight to the wines, to the Rieslings, which does reflect where it comes from an awful lot. So Riesling is one of the two noble grape varieties, along with Chardonnay is noble for that reason, is that it really reflects where it comes from. It doesn't take oak the way Chardonnay would. Now, albeit this is actually fermented in oak, but it's fermented in 1,000-litre oak foeders, which don't have any impact on the actual wine. It's just like a neutral vessel, really, at this stage. So, say off dry, this is about 19 grams per litre of sugar, so that's quite a little bit of sugar compared to some styles. But German Riesling does sort of go up and down the scale in terms of sweetness. Now, what's beautiful about this is the acidity balance in these wines. Because of the northern altitudes of these vineyards, the grapes get a lot of acid, which helps balance off that natural sugars in the wine. So we'll taste it anyway and see what it looks like. So colour wise, it's quite pale, sort of straw to the look. It's only 11 degrees alcohol, which typically is a little bit sort of higher than what you would normally expect for a wine of this style from this part of Germany. It could be often around 8.5, 9 degrees. This is 11. Still very, very light and drinkable at the same time. So on the nose, there's a lovely sort of, you get that initial liminess, almost like a lime flower element going on. And then there's this sort of slightly interesting sort of menthol lozenge, sort of mint almost sort of character to it, maybe slight licorice, something like that, something unusual in there. I think that's really coming from the slaty type soils that this is grown on. It reflects that into the wine. It's really, really classic, sort of lovely nose. So immediately as it enters into the palate, your sweetness receptors are on the tip of your tongue. So you initially get that sweetness from the wine. It goes into your mouth, and it just lovely and light. It's not particularly palate coating. The acidity then comes in and just cleans all that out. You get these nice sort of appley characters coming through on the finish. Quite light alcohol, as I said, on the finish. But what characterizes this wine is sort of slightly higher sugar levels, but high acidity levels. 19 grams per litre of sugar and about 8.5 grams per litre of acidity, which is quite high. Those two in combination give it a lovely balance. It's a style of wine which you could drink easily by itself, very enjoyable. It'll drink really well with some sort of spicy dishes, curries and things like that. Fish related curries, so on and so forth. But just a lovely nice glass of wine to drink. And it's a sort of style of wine which probably fell out of favour in previous times, but it's starting to come back into the public consciousness, and they really are worth a try, particularly as you get up through the scales of sweetness in terms of German wines. They can be absolutely fantastic and delicious, and very long lived as well. Even what would be classed as probably more an entry level for German wines do have a capacity to age due to that sort of natural acidity and sweetness as well. So don't be afraid to stick them away for a few years and watch them develop as well. So yeah, do try German Riesling, and particularly as we're in July at this moment in time. It's the 31 days of German Riesling month, so what better time to give it a go and get a new love in your life, Riesling from Germany. Until next time, cheers.